Okay, that really wasn't that difficult. I had three lugs here. There was one in the center. There was one on this side and the one on this side. So basically two back here and one up here. And once I got them loose, I was just able to pick this up and just set it to the side. Just like that. So now it looks like it's out of the way. I don't think I'm going to have to move anything here. I can't see, or you can't see rather. I'll try to get you some light on it. It looks clear. You can see I actually have it sitting on top of the lug. So everything looks clear. Now I'm going to use both hands and see if I can just slide this top off. Okay, new problem. So everything, it looks like it's free now, except for one thing. And that's this other module here that was sitting under this. So I moved this a little further out of the way. I didn't have to disconnect anything else from it. I just moved it out of the way. But this module that sits here, it's not clearing the flange here. Actually, hang on. Oh. There's another bolt here. Looks like that thing's sitting on a bracket. Let's see. Yeah. So let me just take this other bolt off. I may be able to just pick that up and move it back. Okay, so I just removed that one bolt, and I just picked the whole unit up and just set it back. So everything's free now. I think this should. Yep. Let me use both hands, but I should be able just to pick it up now. Sorry about the light, folks. I do not have lights in the carport here. It's midday, it's about 2 o'clock, but we have thunder clouds ahead, so everything's kind of dark. Still a beautiful day. Okay, so the cover just basically lifted straight off. I had a little bit of issues in here. I had to pull some of that back to get that flange up, but it was fine. I'm going to have to wrap it up for a few minutes. I've got rain coming in. So I've got to get this covered up. I have some plastic I'm going to cover this up with. Make sure the rain doesn't blow in on it. And then whenever I can get some good weather, I'll be back. Well, as soon as I got it covered up, the rain stopped. Let's mull up. But there's still some good clouds up there. Yeah, I'm going to wait. I'll look at a radar and if it clears up here after a while, a few minutes, half hour maybe, I'll come back out and we'll work on it. I'm anxious to start testing these cells. So as soon as I pulled the cover off, I haven't had a chance to look at anything. I literally got the cover off and then went and got the plastic, so it's gonna be cool. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to get to play today. Bummer. Rain, rain, go away. Well, it stopped raining, and I've got a little bit of light back. It's about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so I won't have much light left. So the battery cells look okay. I don't have anything busted or swollen. And then if we pull back this plastic protective cover, we can see the bus bars. Need to pull that on off, but you can see corrosion there. So definitely some corrosion buildup. And then this side, I was looking around, and I don't think I'll be able to I can probably get this plastic strip off, but I don't think I'll be able to get these bus bars off each bank with this module sitting here, so I may have to move it. There's 2 bolts on this side, and then there should be two in the middle, or 2 on each end, and hopefully I'll just move out of the way, and that'll help with the bus bar removal. I'm still being careful here because I'm not sure what can shock me and what can. I don't think I can be shocked here. These are individual banks, but this safety switch being pulled here, I think that separates the two leads that could shock us, but I'm not positive. So I haven't studied this entire pack to see where it could hit me with 250 volts. So I'm still going to be very careful. I'll test these out and make sure there's no high voltage there before I start working. I really need to be wearing electrician gloves. I don't have any, so I'm just being very careful. I would advise that you wear gloves, electrician gloves, if you're going to do this. I should be. So I'll remove these 4 bolts. Very easy. And this whole unit just slid out of the way, but I did. So I should have done that to start with. So I recommend that you do that to start with. And that way, it would have been easier too to remove the cover. Just be careful with these wires here. You still have a lot attached. I don't think I'm going to have to remove any of these wires. I think I'll just be able to work around them. Hopefully so. Okay, sorry it's dark. We're going to get all the plastic off both sides and then start removing the bus bars. So I have the plastic off now on this side, and let's see if I can get some decent light here. Just want to show you, I think every single one of them are corroded. Every one is showing some stage of corrosion. I'll try to zoom in on one particular one here that's real corroded, so you can see. So I had the first one, or the first 2, first bank undone, so I took that bus bar off, and it's a little corroded. It's not that bad. I'd say normal for 10 years, 10 plus years. And then the side here, it's a single point, so it's off. It's the only 3 I've got off. So, but I do have this bank here free now, so I'm gonna test it and see what it's showing. I think it should be showing over 7, preferably 8, but 7.5 maybe. We'll see. So this first cell, I tested it and it's showing 7.91 volts. I can't show that to you because I only have one hand, but 7.91. So I want to say that one, this first cell then, is okay. I know I'm having trouble out of bank 3 according to my trouble codes, and I don't know. So these run, so each 2 of these are a bank. 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. I don't know which end it starts on counting the banks. I could probably figure that out, but It probably will. But for now, I'm just going to go through, get all of these off, all these bus bars off, and do the same thing on this other side. So get all the batteries free, or all the cells free to be able to test. And then I'll come up with a way to clean everything. Vinegar, baking soda, I'll research that. Some guys just put them in vinegar. But we'll get all that clean. And then once we get all the bus bars off, then I've got to figure out how to get these loose so I can replace the bad cell or cells. These vent tubes here, I guess these are vent tubes. These here on each side, I think they just, once I get them loose on the ends here, then they'll just pull off. And then these bars here, I'll have to take them loose just to release the pressure off these bars. And then I'm sure they're connected. Yeah, under the bottom, these cells are connected. Every other one have a bolt that go up through them, so shouldn't be too hard. I'm gonna go ahead and get all these off, and then on the other side, and then we'll go from there. So I started on this side first, and I wanted to show you this side, if I can get it to focus. You have these sensing wires that come up on every bank. So on every other cell, there's a bank of, or a harness of sensing wires that come up on every bank. So you have to be more careful on this side for sure. So for every bus bar that you're going to pull off, you have to pull off this little sensor tab as well and move it to the side. So this side is going to be much more complicated or labor intensive than this side's going to be. You don't have that bank of sensing wires here to deal with. So these tabs, just wanted to show you, you have to pop each one of these out, of these sensing tabs. So now I have that one free. And then, so I have to get that free because I have to be able to pull that bus bar out if I'm going to clean it. So, sorry about the camera, folks. This is an iPhone and I'm trying to do it one-handed. It's not like I have a film crew here. So that pulls away, and then I'll be able to get to this bus bar. So I have all of these out of the way, or this first section here open now. And you can see all of these sensing tabs. They're all loose. Try to get a good look at that. So now I should be able to just pull those bus bars out. They have a little tab that locks them in. There we go. So I got one out. There's quite a bit of corrosion on that one. But you know, there's no corrosion under the bolt, so you wouldn't think that would give too many problems. So now I'll just go through and remove all these bus bars and just leave this in place with that sensing tab there. Each one of these tabs, they'll just stay in place. Okay, so I think you get the idea. I'm going to move them all the way down and get rest of those out and hopefully finish this side. Okay, I have all the batteries or the cells disconnected. They're all ready to test. I still need to remove these vent tubes and then break everything loose so I can get these out as needed. Haven't tested everything yet, but I'm sure I'll have one. There's a couple of bad cells. That side's free. And then here's all the hardware. We'll get all this cleaned up, and then I'll show you how I did it and how they look afterwards. Okay, so let's get to testing the cells. Okay, so we're going to test each cell. Now these alternate, so you have negative and positive, and then it'll alternate to positive, negative. You'll need to switch out each time. But I should get a reading at over 7 on each of these. 7.50 I think and above is good, not positive, but it's what I've been reading. So the first cell, what is that reading?
7.91.
7.91. Very good. I have help now with video, so where have you been the whole time?
Cleaning the house.
Oh, okay. Next one.
7.91.
791. Okay, going to the third.
7.90.
Okay, switching out. Fourth.
7.90.
Switch out again.
7.87.
Okay. Okay.
7.88.
All right, my leads are all twisted. Okay. Not sure if I've tested this one yet or not.
7.88.
Maybe the one we just did.
$7.88.
Okay, so you guys get the idea. I think I stopped here. I'm gonna go ahead and run through them real quickly. If I find a bad cell, I'll come back and show you which cell that is. Well, I've tested everything. I tested each cell twice. The lowest reading that I can get is 7.86. Most of them are 7.88 to 7.90, and a few of them 7.91. So from everything I've read, that's the normal readings for that the cell should be. So I don't know. I'll do some reading, more research, and see if I can figure it out. I know I've got corrosion on these bus bars, but nothing too serious. I mean, it looks bad, but on the surface, but you know, I don't have any leaching under the nuts or anything deteriorated. Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of hoping to find a bad cell, so you know, after all this work, I could pinpoint a bad cell and feel better about it. But I'm gonna go this way. Man, there's a spider. Let me see if you can see him. He's right there in a web. I don't want to mess with his web or him, so I'm coming this way. Let's see. I'll show you. Maybe I've got a little bit of corrosion happening on these sensors. Still, it's not bad. I don't know. I don't know. Let me do some reading and then see what I can figure out. Okay, so I'm back. It's about 4 p.m. the following day since I talked to you last, and we have better weather. It's not raining. And the last time I was with you, we had tested every cell in this battery. Every cell was reading in the high sevens. I think my average was a 7.88. I had an opportunity yesterday or last night to chat with some folks on priuschat.com. So a shout out to priuschat.com. This is a Camry battery, but they were able to help me. Very similar battery, almost identical, same cells. But the good folks on there gave me some pointers. And what we did yesterday, testing each cell, we tested these cells at a resting voltage. So the resting voltage was, again, about 7.88. That is without a load. So it makes sense. The folks on Prius Chat walked me through how to do a load test on each one. People do it a number of different ways. The easiest way is to put a 50-watt halogen bulb, 12-volt bulb on each cell. You let that set for 2 minutes, and then you measure the drop from the resting rate to the load rate after 2 minutes. So I'll bring the laptop out, we'll open up an Excel file, and I will log, I'll recheck these at the resting voltage, and we'll log each voltage into the spreadsheet. Then we'll take, excuse me, we'll take this 12-volt 50-watt halogen headlight. It's got the blade adapters on there, so I'll rig up a couple of wiring harnesses, and we will put that light on each of these cells, and then after 2 minutes we'll log the voltage drop. So we should have some voltage drop on each one, and what we're looking for is that cell or cells that have an abnormal drop rate or off the average of the others. So we'll have to get everything into the spreadsheet to be able to see that, but hopefully that'll help. So let me get the light bulb rigged up, and I'm gonna go ahead and take a baseline of each cell again at the resting voltage, get that logged into the spreadsheet, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I have a new baseline on all of the cells. I actually numbered them too, 1 through 34. That way we can get organized and help troubleshoot. I think these batteries run in banks, so bank 1, bank 2, bank 3, and cell number 1 either starts on this end of the battery or this end of the battery. I think on the Camry it starts on this end, so I think I'm right with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not positive. Someone online said start on the side where the control module is, and it starts 1 through 34 that way, so I don't think it really matters. Just the way I'm able to troubleshoot the bad cell. I got all the baselines in the computer, the resting voltage. So that's the battery number, the resting voltage, and pretty much they're kind of all in line. The lowest I've got is a 7.82. I had a couple of volt drops from last night when we tested it. I think last night that number 1 was setting at 7.91. But everything looks good on the resting voltage. So I have the headlight now wired up. And I have the clips here. The alligator clips. I'm going to clip these on either side of the battery. And I need to start a timer, so I'll just do that with you real quick. I have another phone here. Let's see, stopwatch is ready to go. And let's see. Flip one side on the positive side and one on the negative. And as soon as I do this, I'll hit the start. And hit the start. The light's on. Now we'll wait 2 minutes and then we'll measure that voltage drop. I won't spend the whole 2 minutes with you. This video's getting long enough. So when that gets to 2 minutes, I'll stop it, log it, and then I may do a couple of them and then I'll come back to you. Oh, you know what? I started at number 34. I guess that's fine. I'll just log it in reverse. So I'm on my third cell now doing the load testing. Cell number 32. About 27, 28, 30 seconds into that. And my first two had basically the same drop. So I guess that's common. Appears to be in line. So the goal here is to find one that's dropping more than the others, and then that could be potentially the bad cell. So I'll go ahead and test the rest of these. It's going to take some time. I have a long way to go at 2 minutes apiece. Well, I'm halfway through. This is like slow as Christmas. I'm on number 13, and I started from reverse, so I have 13 more to go. 12 more after this one. Let's see if you can see my screen. So far, the numbers look good except for one, and I'm not sure that's bad or not. Let's see. 0.30 is probably the average, maybe 0.31. Then I have this outlier here, 0.38. So it dropped from 7.82 to 7.44. So far, no huge discrepancies. And I'll have 12 more to go. We shall see. Well, it has been a few days. I got busy at work and had some other things going on. So I'm just getting back with you. The last time that I was here working on the battery, filming with you, I was halfway through the load test process using this bulb as a load tester, this 50-watt bulb. So now I'm all the way through it. I've tested every cell, and I have located number 6 that is a bad cell. Let me show you that on the spreadsheet. So you'll see on the spreadsheet, you'll see the first cell all the way through the last cell. And that's my resting voltage when we started. That's the 2-minute load reading, and then that's the drop percent. Or not percent, but that's the drop. So you'll see this one here, number 6. I had a 0.84 drop. I do have this one, this 0.38 drop. It's kind of an outlier. The voltage didn't drop under 6, so I think this one may be okay. But this one, this number 6, is certainly an outlier. So I have ordered this cell. It should be in a couple of days. I ordered one, but now that the battery has set for it's been here about a week since I last filmed. Just been busy. I'm going to take another baseline reading and to see if they're holding now, because we did the baseline, we did the load test, and now they have rested for about a week, maybe about 5-6 days. So we should be able to tell, look at some other cells that have dropped while they're sitting here resting. So they had the load test, they should rest and then bump up and recover just a little, and pretty much all to the same voltage, close anyway. So if I have some that's lost voltage over the last week after the load test, that could be another indication of bad cells. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll post the results here and come back to you.